Collective 1.
Today we're going to be looking at Super Mario World, and yes, I am playing it on the Switch's online Super NES play service, whatever you want to call it. So this was originally released on the Super Nintendo, and as you pick a new game, you can, or actually when you reload your game, you can pick 1 or 2 players. It's just setting the system's game mode. So yeah, here's the story. Here is that the princess is missing again, and I guess you just assume it's Bowser. And here is the world map. You just go ahead and start here. I'm going to go ahead and start with this level over here. It is called the first level, Yoshi's Island 1. And what you got here is, it actually starts out with an enemy right there that could kill you. But so you learn right away, you gotta move. But your basic controls are, you got your left and right jump right there, and there is of course a variable height. You just tap it and you jump halfway up, and then if you hold it, you'll jump higher. So like you got the basic jump, and then you can jump like different levels depending on how high or how long you hold the jump button, which is very good stuff. And then, of course, if you've got the Y button held down, you can run, stretch, move faster, and jump higher, just a little bit higher. Oh, that's a giant bullet bill attack. So yeah, you still got question mark blocks. Interesting that the game starts off with a floating one. Here's a mushroom power-up, which gives Mario an extra hit. So now not only am I bigger, but I can take a hit, so I won't die, which will just make me smaller. And then you also have the A button is a spin jump, and if you land on enemies with your spin jump, it's often a one-hit kill, where if they wouldn't die otherwise from a one-hit kill. Here's a free mushroom. And it may be tricky to think if you're holding Y and then you have to press A to spin jump, like you can't do both at once, but you can also hold X to run, and then you can spin jump with A a lot easier. And you can just switch to Y on your, you just kind of like switch your thumb between X and Y for your run button, depending on which jump you want to use, a normal jump or a spin jump. And yeah, those certain blocks do break from spin jumps as well. That right there is a halfway point marker. So if I die now, I will restart from this point. These are little help boxes. You can hit them, and it'll just give you like a tip on how to play the game. And we will get to that help item here in a sec. Slopes are also a thing. Oops. Where if you go down if you hold down on a slope, you will slide, and then you can. As you saw, I took out that dragon by sliding down. Shells, ooh, I'm running out of time. Shells are something you can grab or just hit, and if you hold up and release, you'll hit it up. And that is a 1-up mushroom, which will fall down right over here. As you may notice, there are little outlines of blocks right here in these pits. Those will become active. Whoops! Those will become active after we get to the Switch Palace, which I will show you in a bit. So here's that checkpoint spot, which we are continuing from. Let's go ahead and pick up the pace here. So if you notice in the top left, it was counting up the coins I collect, those Yoshi dragon coins. And since I died, it does not save them for me. Let's go ahead and grab a mushroom. I haven't even seen any other power-ups yet. Let's see how quickly I can get through here. Oh yeah, and this is the end goal. You want to land on that post as it crosses there. Like you can pass through the two poles at any point, but if you get the bar that's going up and down, you'll get those points, and those points will accumulate from level to level, and if you get 100, you get to go to a bonus level. So this is the Yellow Switch Palace. This is basically a freebie level. You just kind of come in here, hit the switch to grab a bunch of coins. Every 100 coins you get an extra life, of course, as per usual with Mario games. And then you just run over here to the exit, and you hit the yellow switch, which will activate those yellow blocks. So yeah, those outlined yellow blocks will now be solid exclamation mark yellow blocks. So it's like dispersing yellow blocks there, and the switch is pressed. And now we have an opportunity to save. In the original version of this game, there are only a few opportunities you get to save. Those are at Switch Palaces, at Ghost Houses, like that one you see right there. When you beat a ghost house, you can save. And then also, when you beat castles, like that one on the top right of this map. When you beat those places, you can save. Now, castles, once they're defeated, you cannot retry them. At least I don't think you can until like after the game is completely beaten. And then Switch Palaces you can't retry also until I think the game is completely beaten. So like I can't like redo this. I can press the button and I can't redo this level like if I want to save. Ghost Houses on the other hand can always be replayed. So those are levels you will want to replay if you want to save your game. Or if you're playing on the Switch, you can always create a suspend point and save your game wherever you want, which is a very handy thing. Now let's go ahead and just redo this level really fast. See if I can grab all those dragon coins. Whoops. There are a few things I want to demonstrate here. The first, as soon as I get another power-up, there we go. So, as the help box indicated earlier, you can press select or minus on the Switch, and your item that you have stored up there will come down so you can pick it up. That is handy if it's something like other than a mushroom. If I get hit now, the mushroom will drop automatically, because it knows, hey, you need this mushroom. Also, these yellow exclamation point blocks that we just unlocked all contain mushrooms inside them. So you can always get a free mushroom by hitting one of those blocks. I'm gonna slide down here, hit that guy, duck this time, grab this again. So as you can see, there are exclamation mark blocks. Oh man. Okay, so I got hit and that mushroom automatically dropped down for me to collect to get big again. The exclamation mark blocks are now here, so what this does is it makes a lot of levels easier because it covers up pits that would otherwise kill you if you fell down them. Finally, I'm going to get a fire flower, traditional Mario power-up. I can now shoot 2 balls of fire at a time on screen. Oh man, another thing I just wanted to show off is that I got hit with a fire flower, and I instantly dropped down to Small Mario. I wasn't just Big Mario without the firepower. I'm now Small Mario with no power-ups at all. That is important to note because I'm going to be comparing to the Game Boy Advance game. And now one more demonstration of this before we go to the game GBA is we'll do this level. And I will show you Yoshi. So yeah, Yoshi is a guy. It says Bowser trapped him in that egg. So Yoshis don't just like get born right away. They were trapped in eggs, canonically. And then, yeah, this is just some more help. Yoshi can eat these berry things. You can just either, if I press Y, he'll, or X, he'll spit his tongue out. And I can grab them. If I just press it like that, he'll like duck down into it. If I hold up and press it, he'll do it straight up, which is good for grabbing fruits like that. And if I'm holding Y, and I run by a fruit, he'll also eat it. And grabbing, I don't know how many fruits it is, maybe like 10 or so, then he'll like lay an egg and give you an item. So it's good to get those, you know, whenever they're around. You cannot have two Yoshis appear on screen unless it's like a glitch or something. And anytime there would be a Yoshi egg and you already have a Yoshi, you'll instead get a 1-up mushroom. And I can leave Yoshi off screen safely for a bit. He'll still be there when I get back. Grabbing these Yoshi coins. When I grab all of them in a level, oh, here's that free item I get for grabbing so many fruits as Yoshi. The dragon coins, when you collect all 5 in a level, they will disappear and they won't come back. So it's really just for like prestige to grab those coins. So what I'm doing here is I'm jumping and then pressing A to get off of Yoshi, which sort of like gives me a super high jump. Another thing you could do while you're here, you can just press A to get off of Yoshi normally. Or you can grab these purple blocks. Purple blocks are ones where you can grab them and they will explode after a while on their own. Or you can use them to hit them up and grab like those things. Okay, they don't explode, but they disappear after a while. Go ahead and eat that guy. Now now what you would normally do is hit this power switch. Oh no, Yoshi! Oh. There goes my demonstration. So what you normally do is hit that P switch to turn those coins on the blocks, and you go up to get the goal at a higher point. Let me run that back real quick. I'll skip ahead to show you what I wanted to show you. Alright, so this is where I wanted to show you something. So as you can see the goalposts, you know, the higher you get on it, the more points you get. And a funny thing is that you can, in theory, use Yoshi to, you know, extend your jump to get higher. And as you saw me there, I'm going to go ahead and use the Switch's rewind feature to demonstrate this a little better. I used Yoshi to get up there. I'm going to try to... There we go. So I could land on Yoshi, but if I just don't land on him, I walk by him, I forget about him and everything. Otherwise, I could take Yoshi to other levels. That is going to differ from the GBA version, which we will now cut to. So here is the Game Boy Advance version. Let me see if I can just soft reset here. So this, added to this version of the game, does have a little bit of story to it. It shows the Mario Brothers and the princess actually visiting the island. There is a little color differentiation here because I've beaten this game 100%, so the land is colored differently. That's a weird color, I know. So yeah, the story here is they come to visit. The Mario Brothers get some capes and fly around a bit, and then when they come back, the princess is gone. So I'm going to skip that. I'm going to go ahead and I can talk about multiplayer later, but single player, let's go ahead and check this out. The basic Super Mario World. We'll check out the other stuff later. So this right here, as you may see, is very similar to the Super Nintendo opening when you first power it on. So let me go ahead and do this one here. So here you can see the same world that I was in a second ago with the Super Nintendo game. Except, you know what? I shouldn't even go up here yet. But yeah, you can see the Super Mario World, regardless of which version you're playing, there is this whole exploratory element to it. Like you can press the L button, look around. This is the same in the Super Nintendo version. I didn't really show it off, but you can look around, check out the map. There are sections of the map obviously you can't see yet, but you can see the main castles and where they are, kind of see where your journey is going to take you. Like you can't see like inside that cave there. There's a whole area inside there. So yeah, you're not seeing the whole game here. It's intentionally hidden. But yeah, here, instead of starting with 1 player or 2 player, when you select, you just automatically start single player. Here, you can press R to switch to Luigi, and he does have his own physics. He's got his Mario Brothers 2 physics, if that makes sense, where he's got his floaty jump. And this game also has little sound bites added in, so like the characters have their own little quips that they say. You know, you got their little sound effects added in here. Of course, you can see the colors do look a little different even on this screen. Let's go ahead and check out level 1 again, just so you can see the differences here. In fact, let me go ahead and get hit here so you can see a good comparison. So you got the same controls. Mario's talking, of course. And then, so what's different about the Game Boy Advance is that you've only got A, B, L, and R. You don't have an X and Y. So while you've got like the same basic controls, what you need is, so you've got, you know, A is jump, B is you can hold it to run, and if you have a fire power up, you shoot fireballs with it. Whoops. And then the L button, that'll pan the screen for you. So, I mean, the screen size is technically smaller than it was on the Super Nintendo, so you can pan the screen in any direction you want if it will help you see something coming up, if you're not sure where to go. And look at that, I can even keep it that way for a while until I start moving back. And then the R button is now your spin. And this I have grown so accustomed to, because now instead of having to move my fingers off of either Y or X to run, the R button is just always there on my index finger, and I can just hit it and not have to change anything else. This is so convenient a way to do that. And then the select button is the same, as you can call down your power up to grab it if you want to change power ups. And then start, of course, is pause, but here you have an actual menu. You could save and quit, you know, of course, on any level that you've beaten. Oh yeah, and of course I just showed is that you can save at any time you want. You don't have to go around and beat a castle first to save. You can just save whenever you want, which is great for a GBA game, especially if you're playing on a Game Boy Advance. I am playing this on the Game Boy Player on the GameCube, so, and my capture card for this is not my Elgato. I can't, because it's not coming through an HDMI, so the picture looks kind of, it looks really bad. You may notice these coins in the Game Boy Advance version. When you collect all the coins, they still go away and all that, but now when you collect all the coins in every level, they will return as Princess Peach coins. So that's a little nifty addition. Speaking of other additions, there is now a menu on the main map here. If I press select, I can go to this, and it will show me what levels I've completed and who I completed them with. M is for Mario, L would be for Luigi, and then the little coin on the side shows me if I got all the coins in that spot. So I can check out, you know, different worlds here that I've been to. I just have world 1 and 2, and then the very top there is my clear time. That is only time spent in level. So time spent on the world map here does not add to that timer. So if you really just want to like practice, like, I don't know, like a speed run or something, that'll help. Let's go ahead and do the Switch Palace real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the coins. I know, terrible, right? Just skipped all those extra lives, but I'm just doing a demo here. And you may be able to hear the sound effects, or the music quality is of course not as, it's not the same as the Super Nintendo. So there are those adjustments. You know, there's those, that's just like a difference between the Super Nintendo and the GBA is audio and visual quality. But I do think that all of the changes to the I guess user experience, if you want to call it that, are pretty good. Also, I don't think I mentioned it earlier on the Super Nintendo version, but levels with red are your indication that there is a second exit. You can also look on here and see that there's 2 boxes. That also means there's a second exit. Now the red, in the Super Nintendo version, the red level marker is the only way you can tell that there is a second exit there, is if the level marker is red. Otherwise, it's yellow. Like all of these are yellow because there's only one exit. The yellow dots. Here they are red because it means there is a second secret exit. So obviously the normal exit for here is going up like this. And then the normal exit for here would also be to go straight up to the ghost house. But if you find a secret exit, then you will go to another path. And that's kind of one of the big fun parts about Mario World, is that the world map isn't just a linear go to the next level kind of experience. It is a multi-path adventure where you can go to different places. Now I don't have a Yoshi here, so this is going to be a little different. Maybe I'll cut ahead so as not to spoil everything. So here is an example of a secret exit. So normally if I had a Yoshi, Yoshis actually, if they eat blue shells, they can fly. But here, I'm just going to have to do this the old-fashioned way here. I'm going to grab this shell, hit this block up here, which will create a vine, which I can then climb to find this key. These keys are often the secret exit. They aren't the only secret exits, but they are very commonly the secret exits. You put the key in the keyhole, and you go to a new path. So instead of going straight up, I'm going to go left and find a new switch palace, which will then activate green blocks in the levels. Whoops, I screwed that one up. Oh yeah, here's a good point. When you get hit in this game, instead of instantly going straight down to Short Mario, you actually keep your Big Mario status. So if you want to demonstrate that here, my power-up will automatically drop as I go to Small Mario. And then if I get hit again, I'm still Big Mario, I'm not instantly Small Mario. So what I was supposed to do here was knock this shell down there and hit all those enemies and I'd get a 1-up. But no big deal. Oops. So yeah, now there are green outlines of blocks that are going to be turned into solid green blocks. And similar to how the yellow blocks, the yellow exclamation blocks, give you mushrooms whenever you hit them, the green exclamation blocks all give feathers. The feather is kind of like the power-up of this game. So Game Boy Player is definitely not the recommended way to play Game Boy games, but it is the most convenient for me to record them at this time. Yeah, definitely feeling some input lag, visually speaking. So let's go ahead, let me just skip to the end of the level here. So here we are. I'm not going to have the advantage of save states or rewind to demonstrate this, so I'm going to have to do it more carefully. So here, of course, if you land on Yoshi, if you jump off of Yoshi for the goal pole, if you land on Yoshi, of course, you will still be on him. But in addition to that, dang it. Alright, so if you land on Yoshi, you get Yoshi back, of course. Let me try that again. I'll skip ahead. Alright, so here we are again. Now, if I were to put Yoshi out there and I don't happen to catch him, Mario will now jump right on top of Yoshi instead of walking right by him. That's just a nice little add-on. There are some other changes in regards to different colored Yoshis in the GBA version. If you are interested in that, if you already know about blue Yoshis and red Yoshis and yellow Yoshis. Before, you could only get them in the special worlds in which they appear. Now, if you have, once you have unlocked them, if you have something like a Fire Flower power-up on you currently and you get a Yoshi somewhere, it'll be a red Yoshi. If you have a Cape power-up active and you get a Yoshi somewhere, it'll be a blue Yoshi automatically. So that just kind of speeds up the process of getting your Yoshi back if you need one for a certain challenge to get to a secret exit. Probably a blue Yoshi. But other than that, that is the same game. Of course, a few little graphical upgrades. Or downgrades. And downgrades, I guess you could say. Both, just changes. The multiplayer is actually... you can probably do multiplayer of the main game. But you can also do multiplayer of the Mario Brothers game. And this is something... Since this is the first Mario Advance game I'm reviewing, this is something that is included in every Mario Advance game that's been released. So Mario Advance 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think another one, maybe Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, all include this Mario Brothers game. It's the original Mario Brothers arcade game, which happened before Super Mario Brothers proper was released. So this is a little game you can just play endlessly for a high score. It's where you can hit these spiny guys before you can... If you try to jump on them, of course you'll just die. Where you have to knock them over first, and then you can kill them. And every time you kill one, they'll spit out a coin, and then the last enemy is always a different color. And then enemies, if you knock them over and then leave them alone, they will also eventually get back up, and they will be that different color, but that different color also indicates that they like move faster. Oh, it's not even blue, it's green. So, and then if you... So yeah, every time you kill an enemy, that coin will spit out, and then if you kill multiples at once, you can get a higher score. So if you group them together, you'll get higher score that way. But of course, if you do it with the last two, you won't get that extra coin, which kind of... I guess that's about the same score-wise. So you can do something like that to get more coins, or to get more points with your coins. Oh, but if you touch an enemy, it is one-hit kill, and then you will respawn at the top of the screen, and during the time it takes to respawn, any enemies that you may have knocked over will probably be knocked over again. And then the POW block is an item which you can use. If you hit it, it'll knock over all the enemies that are on the ground. That green guy was in the air at the moment, so he didn't get hit. That he's just turned blue, which means that he is the last enemy on the screen. And then as you get further in, fireballs will start to appear like that green one there. And if you touch those, of course, you die. Every 5 or so levels, I believe, you get one of these coin mini games, which is just get all the coins within the time limit to get a bonus. Whoops. I'll still make it. Doesn't matter how much time you have left, it's just get within the time limit, and then you get extra points and a 1-up. And then the background will of course change over time. Every time, after every bonus game, you also get that POW block restored. And then there are different enemy types, like these crabs. They take 2 hits instead of 1 to knock over. After the first hit, they start moving faster. In fact, this guy might even get up faster. Oh, he's blue, which means he's the last one. Another thing you can do with these POW blocks, since I'm not going to play this much longer, is you can pick them up, Mario 2 style, and you can throw them, but that exhausts them completely if you do that way. And then these fireballs can be gotten rid of if you hit underneath them at the right time. But yeah, that is pretty much the game. I'm not going to play this any longer. It does go on endlessly. I'm not going for high score right now. My personal best is that, I guess. Actually, I don't know. That might have been a cheat. Yeah, it does keep your top score in Mario World 2 as well, Mario World as well. But I mean, it's not really anything to write home about, because you can just farm those points if you really want to. And then the stars, you get those for doing different things in the game based on your completion, like beating all the levels, getting perfect, just beating the game, getting all the coins, things like that. And yeah, that is Mario World on the Game Boy Advance. I think I've covered the important differences. If you've played this, if you've played both versions and there's anything I've left out, please let me know in the comments below so anyone watching can find out. And then if you haven't played the game before, either game before, let me know in the comments below what you think of the review. You know, if it's helped inform you or not. And then, other than that, I guess thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.